We did a TikTok live stream this weekend. We did an Instagram live stream this weekend. So for sure, you know I got to show some love to our YouTube peeps. So this is Geeky Gecko Creations Live, which basically means this is our show and tell style live stream. So I have a couple of our leopard geckos that are on our website pulled out here. This one is ID number 1254. This one's ID number 1397. And if you guys want to see any leopard gecko from our website live, all you need to do is go to the website and pick out an ID number that you would like to see, and we will bring it live on camera for you to say hello. So, I hope all y'all had a great weekend. It is getting close to April. April Fool's Day coming up. 1336. All right, let's check it out. Thanks for that submission. Oh yeah, here we go. 1336. Nice boy. Adult male. Ready to breed. Hi, baby. Sweet boy. Oh, cool. Yeah, my phone number is open to anyone who needs to talk or have questions. You could get my phone number from our website, geekygeckocreations.com. Yeah, Devin. Okay. Well, good to see you again, Devin. Also, take note that all animals are going to look better in person than on video, since video dilutes the color a decent amount a lot of times. But our website has pretty accurate and true to color representation of the geckos. So this is 1336, and he is a sweet boy. And if you have any questions, also let me know. Yeah, he's a sweet boy. We're shipping out a bunch of geckos tomorrow, so if, you know, feel free to leave him in the cart. But also, if he is in your cart, someone else can still snag him up if he's not paid for. Once he's paid for, I can hold on to the gecko as long as you want. So it just depends on how sold you are on this gecko particularly. Now, we have 100 or so more geckos that I'm going to be uploading to the website over the next 1 to 2 months. Hopefully this week I can get at least another 30, 40 updated. I have a bunch more adult males that I need to add to the website, and then I have a bunch more like sub-adult males and females. So thank you guys for being here. Now that we're starting to catch up on cleaning and stuff, we're going to start doing more live streams once again. We did one the other day on Instagram and TikTok, and I just wanted to do one on YouTube before the weekend was over. I'm planning on buying one from your website. Thanks so much, Slimy. So this is one. This girl is on our website right now. She's super fine. She's super cool. She is ID number 1397. But we have a ton of Black Knights that we bred at the end of last year that are growing up right now. So probably within the next month or so, we're going to have a bunch of new Black Knights just like that on the website of varying levels of darkness, so that you could get better prices, as well as the different sexes, male and female. 1265. I got you right here. Ooh, 1265 is nice, yo. I gotta tell you. It's a nice tangerine. If you're looking for tangerine, 1265 is nice. Again, it's going to look better in person for sure, but even on the video, you can see how red that tail is. Man, so I would say the body color is at least 2 times as orange as what you're seeing on camera, and then the tail is a little more red than that too. So yeah, what's up, MOB? What's going on? Yeah, so this one is ID number 1265. If you guys want to see any ID numbers, you just let me know. Go to geekygeckocreations.com. 1162. Let's check that out. 1160. Oh yeah, here it is. Here, ooh, 1162 is nice, yo. If this one is $100, you better snag her up right now because she is fine. Some of the geckos I just lowered the price for because they've been on the website a while, but this girl is fine right here. If she grows up any longer, I might just keep her. So she's going to be more orange in person than what you're seeing on camera, and she has very defined red stripes, which is actually, I held back a bunch of red stripes because I want to make a lot. I want to like really have our own unique red stripe project. She's fine though. She's fine, I'm telling you. Let's look at her little face. Hi, baby. No squeaks, no squirks. Just a good little gal. We also have a handleability rating on all of our geckos. Astronomical. Hey, Frank, ever notice how some tangerines like the one you just held and Lieutenant Pancake have a single blackish dot on their back? Let's see. I have noticed that. Where is the black dot on this one's back? Or maybe it was the one I had before this. But yes, sometimes they do have wonky dots that will just randomly appear. I mean, it's pretty amazing what leopard geckos look like today compared to what leopard geckos look like when they first came in the 80s and the 90s. So when they first came in, they were just black and yellow with polka dots, which is why they're called leopard geckos. But now you can get pure orange, pure black, pure white, all kinds of crazy stuff. 1190. $11.90. Oh, here we go. Dang, $11.90 is nice also. If this is $100, somebody better scoop this up because this one is worth at least $250. She nice. Again, her orange is going to be way nicer in person. What is she, like clown mandarin or something? Let me see. She is clown, blood, emerine, mandarin. Such good genetics in this girl. If you're looking for breeding stock or even a pet, she's a gorgeous pet. But she'll also make really good breeding stock. For sure. And you can't really tell how orange she is on the video because the video is going to dilute the color, but she nice, girls. She a nice girl. Gecko Man, what's up, man? How goes it? Do you have odd colors like red or pink? A true red doesn't really exist. I mean, there are some like orangey reds, or at least I've never seen like a pure red in person. I've seen stuff that's fairly close, or like I have stuff in my collection that's like really reddish orange. But if you're talking about like a pure red, I would say that doesn't exist yet, but it is something we're working towards in the hobby as a whole, number one. And then number two, pink is also a color that doesn't tend to exist in its true form. There is a lot of like lightish pinks, lavenders, high whites, stuff like that. 1327. $13.27. Oh, this is a Black Knight one. Just had a successful show in Dubuque today. How do you say that? Sorry, can you phoneticize that out for me? Dubuque. Is that Iowa or... This guy's in shed right now. So this is a Black Knight cross boy in shed. So you can see he's all gray, but congratulations on your show, Gecko Man. This guy's pretty beautiful though. If he's like $100, somebody should scoop him up for sure, because he is, what is he? Oh, he's a Black Knight. He's an actual Black Knight. He's just not super dark, but he's a pure Black Knight. He was actually from our Gold Dust project. So when he sheds, you'll see that he's a little bit more like of a gold and black. So yeah, you see the face? See the face? The cutie little face? But he's a a big boy, ready to breed. So, oh yeah, 300. That makes sense because he is a pure black knight. Meaning, if you were to breed him to any black knight, like this girl right here, you'd get some pitch black babies and some really dark offspring. Not all the babies would be pitch black, of course, but even pitch black to pitch black, the babies aren't always pitch black. There is a variation that occurs. And a matter of fact, a lot of the pitch black ones are a little bit smaller than average weight-wise and gram-wise. So it's actually better to outcross. You'll get larger geckos and you'll still have the chance for to produce dark geckos. So yes, Northeast Iowa. Cool, man. Hi, sweetie. Just want to make sure she doesn't nip her tail. That's why I move her. Even though she's not... Both of these gals were on Instagram Live yesterday and TikTok Live, and they were both fine with each other. Another little trick, which Brooke actually shared this with me, is that if you spray the tub with water, they like to lick the water, and it distracts them. So if you do have a couple rambunctious leopard geckos, you could also... that'll help. But these guys are not rambunctious. They're cool. Bayuk. I know I've heard this name before. I'm pretty sure I've heard like Wally from Supreme Gecko say it. Because isn't he from Iowa or something? Deboik? Someone help me. I am pronunciation challenged right now. How much do I feed leopard gecko during the week? So let's say your leopard gecko is growing. Okay? Both these leopard geckos are growing. Feed them as much as they'll eat, which would be approximately 100 mealworms a week. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, depending on your gecko and its appetite. Once the gecko is an adult, like the black knight that I just showed, you'll want to cut that down to about maybe 25 to 50 a week mealworms max. Otherwise, your gecko's going to get potentially severely overweight. And that's bad for two reasons. Number one, overweight geckos don't breed so well. Number two, overweight geckos, they're just overweight, and they might get to a point where it becomes really difficult to pull the weight off of them, to the point where like you would have to not feed them like at all just to get them to start losing a little bit of weight, you know? And so to prevent them from getting to that point, just feed them less, you know, keep their metabolism going, feed them less. How is Ghost? Oh, Ghost is great. I don't know if you saw our recent video where we did a Girl Scout party event. It was super cool. 40 people. And Ghost was fantastic because Ghost and Daisy are bearded dragons. Prior to the Girl Scout event, they were very jumpy. But at that Girl Scout event, it's like these Girl Scouts tamed them down. And now every event after that, the bearded dragons are just cool. Like they're handleable. We have a big church event coming up, you know. I'm really excited for that. So our church is doing like a special promotion after Easter. And I talked to them about the reptiles. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to do a reptile event for the church. And so that's going to be an awesome event. Hundreds and hundreds of people are going to be filtering out the doors past our reptile booth, getting an opportunity to handle some geckos and snakes. I'm super excited for that. Raptor, fan of Raptor. Okay, yeah, I like Raptor too. I actually separated I held back a ton of Tangerine Raptors this year. Some with snake eyes, some partial eyes, some with pied effects, so that I can just create our own really like unique projects here. I've done crested geckos. I've bred crested geckos. I've sold crested geckos. I've kept crested geckos, but I got rid of them all and gargoyle geckos because I want to focus on Leos. And right now my time and space is limited. So with my time and space limited, I've decided to focus on leopard geckos, ball pythons, a few tegus that I have left. And then obviously, if you guys know my sailfin dragons, they currently take up 2.5 rooms right now. 13 subadult sailfin dragons. It's a passion project that is a really bad business decision at this time because they are just sucking money out of me and not giving me anything in return. But They are a long-term investment. They are rare. Not a lot of people have them. Not a lot of people breed them. And I want to get a personal captive bred project of these guys going. And I have both the Microlophus and Celebensis large sailfin species. So that's where I'm at with there. Yeah. So that's how the sailfins are doing, Gecko Man. I'm currently in the process right now of upgrading all their cages. I've showed one upgraded cage, and then as I upgrade more, I will show more. And I should be doing more videos now too, because we have a great young lady named Danielle that is working for us now, and she's really helping us to get caught up with cleaning and also to stay on top of cleaning so we don't get behind, which is why I had to take a step back from social media for a while, is because we were getting behind on cleaning and I have to prioritize that. So 1358, let's see. $13.58. Ooh, super giant, but it's in shed. So we could take a look at, what is this, a her? Yeah. We could take a look at her, but she's in shed. She's nice too. I can see her colors underneath, but she is pure gray. She's going to pop this baby off tonight. The skin's going to come off tonight. So that's her though, super giant. All right, flying geckos are cool. I would love to get that. I would also like to get the flying Draco lizards. That's another bucket list animal. Do you have Celebensis female? Yes, we have Celebensis males and females, Microlophus males and females. 13 in total that I'm growing up personally, because I don't know if you guys saw my Draco video, but he had brain-eating parasites in his head that he was imported with from Indonesia. So now it scares me to import them as adults, because adults have been eating fish, eels, bugs from Indonesia that have those brain-eating parasites in there, and he died 6 months of being in my care. And of course, you know, not only do you not get a refund and they're very expensive, but on top of that, it's just very traumatizing to, you know, be really excited over this new family member and then it passes away. So that's one of the reasons why from this point forward, I mean, unless I need it for a breeding project, I will just buy babies and grow them up in captivity. That way I can control what I'm feeding them. So like my sailfin dragons here, they only get cooked food, cooked dog food, cooked cat food. They don't get anything raw except some tilapia and salmon from time to time. But even then, those are safer options than like the fish they're eating from the wild in Indonesia, you know? But for the most part, I try to stay away from anything raw that might have parasites or crazy bacteria in there. And a lot of insects, a lot of veggies, some fruit, and then some meat as well. Also rats, you know, you can feed them like baby rats or hopper mice or small mice, stuff like that. So 1316. Oh yeah, 1316 is pretty cool too. This was one that I was holding back for my red stripe, reverse stripe clown project, but there's only so many projects you can work. And this is one project I decided I did not have space or time to work. But very sweet boy, you can see. Really sweet. He gives all the licks. Look at that, all the licks. Beautiful boy. We do have a lot of blizzards. If they're sold out on our website, I got more coming in the next couple updates. Do you have any cool hyperzanthic? Yes, if you go to my website, geekygeckocreations.com, search available in stock geckos. I think there's 40 of them there. And you could ask to see any of those 40. I also have like another 200 to 300 that I'll be updating over the next couple months. Hopefully this week I could get at least 30 to 40 updated before April. And then in April, of course, some more. I had the site pulled up while I'm watching you. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool how you can do that. Are you able to do that like on your phone at the same time? I'm always curious. 1092. NARBC, I saw a smoking male that went to the Reptarium. Ooh, that's cool. Who was it from? What breeder and what morph was it? Are you saying it was like a blizzard or something? I'm looking for a cool male with Halloween mask. Yeah, we do work with a ton of Halloween mask stuff. So I got a ton that is up and coming if you don't see anything on the website that you like right now. The easiest way to filter the website, because right now there's a lot of out of stock. There's like 250 out of stock geckos and 40 in stock geckos. So if you go to all leopard geckos and then filter by in stock, that will help you navigate it for now. It takes a long time for me to pull the out of stock ones off the website and put them into the sold section. So I just need to take an hour or so to do that, and I just haven't done that. But 1092. I think 1092 might be an error. Does it say 1092 is in stock? Because I don't see 1092 here. So that might be an error. Sorry that your gecko passed. It is always sad. 1343. 1343. Oh, this is a nice one. Yo. Nice one. What is he, like a bumblebee? Oh. What's up, buddy? There we go. Beautiful. You can see a ghost face. Do you see the ghost face right there? Look on top of his head. The two eyes and the mouth that is like opening downward. It kind of looks like the Scream face. 36 available. Yeah, that's right, because a few people bought some this weekend. There's how you can tell boy. A lot of people ask. You could see those pores right there. Those black pores that are about 12 to 15 of them in the shape of like a V. That's the number one way to tell male versus female, because females will be gray or white and males will be like very like black like that. And then also, of course, the big bulges, which males will always have bigger bulges than females. Although you can see the two bulges right there. Kind of looks like a butt a little bit. Although some females can have big bulges, but they won't have the pores. So, yeah, let's take a look at his look the other way. You could kind of see a smiling Halloween face right here. See that? The two eyes and the smiles underneath. But it kind of looks like the nuclear site 3 dots. Do you know what I'm talking about? Is that called something specifically? Like the nuclear waste plant dots or something? Yeah, he's a cool boy. All right, let's see what I missed here. Celebensis male went... Oh, a Celebensis male went to the Reptarium. Yeah, man, the males are the ones that have the really big fins and stuff, so that's awesome. 1092, it just sold. Did it really? Awesome. Who got 1092? Someone in the chat here? Any thoughts on feeding slightly smaller worms to newly adult geckos so they can eat more of them and digest easier, as mealworms have exoskeletons? That's a great idea. I've never noticed leopard geckos having any problem digesting any size mealworm. But that doesn't mean that small worms are not easier for them to digest. I don't know if we would need a scientific lab to study that. But in my personal experience, I don't really, I've never tried smaller, I've never had an issue with medium or large worms, so I've never had a reason to try smaller worms. But somebody like you, Alex, if you're able to document the poops, document the frequency of poops, document the appetite, document the activity levels of Lieutenant Pancake when he's on different size mealworms, that would be a good like observational study that you could do. That would be pretty cool for the hobby, right? Like a tactical nuke logo. There we go. That's what I was thinking of. 1349. Gecko Man, I'm guessing you never make it out to the West Coast or like Arizona for shows, right? But if you ever do, let me know. We'll do some coffee or food or dinner, or we'll meet at the show and check out the show. Here is 1349. Again, it's going to be more colorful in person because the video camera of YouTube's live diminishes a lot of the color, but beautiful boy, calm boy, sweet boy, little kisser, little lover. You can see right there. Little lover with his little kisses. He's awesome. 1312. I fed pinky mice to my Leo. Yeah, pinky mice is something that people do from time to time. Keep in mind, pinky mice is very fatty. There's no calcium in them because they don't have bones really. And it's not something you want to feed regularly or your gecko will get overweight more than likely. But it is something you can certainly feed, especially females that are going through breeding or bouncing back from breeding. So what is this guy? This is so 1312 and then 1347. Thirteen 12 is a nice wild type. So this is actually, we were talking earlier in this live stream about, what were we talking about? But this is what geckos look like when they came in from the wild originally. Isn't that crazy? And now we've been able to get them pure black, pure orange, striped, bright yellow. It's absolutely ridiculous how many different variations we've been able to create through selective breeding and line breeding. And if you think about it, the species is still... he climbed all the way up my shoulder. The species is still fairly new, if you think about it, because dogs... Look at all the breeds of dogs that we have, and dogs have been around for thousands of years. Leopard geckos, we've only been selectively breeding for 30 years. So think of all the possibilities. I mean, the Lord might return before this, but think if we were 1,000 years into the future, what would be possible with leopard geckos? That's wild to think about. I know I missed one. 1347. Does 1347 say that it's in stock? Because if so, I need to change that because I don't see 1347 here. So every once in a while, I may forget to mark one. 46, 48. Yeah, there's no 1347. Does it say in stock? Because I need to change that if so. Yeah, Tremper Albino is really cool. You've been up since 4:30 a.m., so going to bed. God bless, Gecko Man. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Yeah, Trempers is one of my favorites, too. It's one of the most colorful tangerine projects. And to be honest, I just started working with a lot of radar and bell stuff, and they close their eyes a lot, in my experience. I don't know any of you guys who have bells and radars. but they close their eyes a lot more than Trempers. So if somebody's asking me like what should they get, Tremper or Bell, for sure go with whatever you want. But two reasons why I suggest Tremper. Reason number one, the colors and projects are further along, so you're going to get more bang for your buck and more colorful animals. Number two, Tremper animals don't have as much light sensitivity as Bells do. But like Love in Your Ear states, Bells do have a different look. They do have lighter color eyes, more pinkish eyes, different patterns and different color hues. But still, Tremper, if I had to pick a favorite, it's still Tremper. $13.97. $13.97. Okay. That's this. This little girl. Which, by the way, you can see this girl is pitch black. She is a steal of a deal, and I'll tell you why. She is 87.5% pure original line Black Knight. And she is 12.5% Mandarin. So if you're looking to get into the Lava Project, which is Tangerine and Black Knight crossed together, she would be a great candidate for the Lava Project because of that 12.5%. Or if you just want to take her deeper into the Black Knight Project, just breed her to a nice 50% or more Black Knight male, and you'll get some really dark babies. She's gorgeous, aren't ya? You know it. And she was rated a 4 out of 10 as far as handleability goes on photo day. But now you can see, look at her. I'm not holding her. I'm not applying any pressure to her or anything. And she's just sitting there. I would actually rate her right now. She's at least a 7 or an 8. She is no, like, for whatever reason, she was just jumpy on photo day. But she's fine now. Look at her. Look at her sweet little face. Hi, baby. Thank you for the kiss. Thank you for the kiss. I know. You just like being complimented like all women, huh? She's a true girl. She likes the compliments, so she's like, I'll chill. How many generations away from Supergiant Black Knight? I'm not working that project. I do have a lot of Black Knight outcrosses that are just naturally bigger, but nothing specifically that is from like Supergiant lineage. But there might be, you know, Calico Gecko or some of those other guys might be working that project specifically. I don't know how hopeful I am for that project because the darkest of the dark Black Knights, it takes a lot of inbreeding to get them that dark consistently for the most part. So it's like the darkest of the dark ones, like this, are usually about 10 to 15% smaller on average than your average leopard gecko. And it's really hard to breed big geckos to small geckos because they don't get into position well. So if it was to happen, number one, I don't think the animals would get over 100 grams. I don't even think they'd get over 80 grams, to be honest. But number two, it would take a long time. Those are just my two thoughts right now. So, 1340. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Another good one. They're all good in their own way. But this guy has a lot of greens on him, so you can see, like, actually in the video, it's a little hard to see. These two are getting a little rambunctious here. I want to make sure that they are not going to get nippy with each other. Usually juveniles or subadults don't get nippy with each other. It's the adults that do, like adult females if they're going to. But sometimes when they get fired up, they could get a little bit, so you want to just be careful. You know? So I'm going to move her away a little bit. But this boy right here, he would actually be a really good pair for this girl, because this girl has a ton of green on her, which you can see from the photos on the website. And this boy has a decent amount of green on him, as you can see from the photos on the website. It's hard to see in person here, but look, I like when they stretch their little hands out. Look, they stretch their little hands out when they're trying to go for an edge like that. So cute. Let's see his head pattern. I see an old man in his... I see an old man frowning in his head pattern. What do you guys see? Let's turn it the other way too. I don't see anything there, but here kind of looks like, I don't know, an old man pouting or frowning face. Anyway, that's 1340. All right. Hello, hello, Bass Fan, Drake Swan, Joseph. Vanilla is a good name for a leopard gecko. What color is vanilla? Can you show us more geckos? Yeah, so what I'm doing right now, any leopard gecko from our website, geekygeckocreations.com, has an ID number attached to its description. Let me know what the ID number is, and we will pull them out live on camera. For example, this one is ID number 1254. And this one is ID number 1397. So you shout out an ID, we bring them out. We do have high yellows. They're referred to as hyperxanthics on our website, and they're often in like the bold projects. So if you go to our website, go to all leopard geckos, then go to in stock leopard geckos. There's 40 of them right now, and some of those should be high yellow. We just had one out earlier in the stream, and what's the name? I also have like another 200 more that I'm going to be adding to the website over the next 2 to 3 months. I try to get at least 30 to 40 new ones each month. So I'm working on my next update right now. I'm just a little behind on cleaning and stuff, so I wanted to catch up with that. I got to build some sailfin cages. I got to build rat racks. I got to build leopard gecko racks. So there are some other things that I'm working on right now in the midst of all of that, but I'm definitely due for a gecko update. And so I think this week I'm going to take some time this week to get like 30 or 40 more added. 1341. Yeah, 1341 is cool too. This is what is it? Mandarin Inferno, Afghanicus, Turkmenicus. Rare. Not a lot of people working the Tangerine, Turkmenicus, Afghanicus project. So brings out a lot of greens in the animal, a lot of darkness in the animal, spottedness in the animal. So let's see if you see anything in its head pattern. I guess it kind of has the head of a trident. Like what's that? Like the god of the ocean or whatever with the trident. I forget the name of it. It's not coming to mind right now, but kind of has that trident, the 3 trident right there. So this is 1341 and 1351. Thank you, love. I appreciate that. 1351. Yeah, 1351 is pretty nice. Just a nice orange, super hypo, good carrot tail, little cookie feet. I call this cookie feet. Do you see how it has black spots on the feet? Black spots on the feet, black spots on the feet. I call that cookie feet. So nice little tangerine cookie feet leopard gecko. I want 1397, but I don't have the space. Yeah, that is one of the problems with leopard geckos, and one reason why I think they're not as popular right now as like crested geckos is because crested geckos, you don't need any heat source or anything like that. So now I've heard of a lot of people just keeping leopard geckos at room temperature in the 70s to 80s. We do room temperature, low 80s to mid to high 80s fluctuation throughout the day, but obviously they're not promoted that way, and it's always suggested to use a heat source. So until that changes, maybe it'll never change, but until that changes, I think they're always going to be a species that require a little bit more second thought when buying, because you do need to have space for a tank or a rack, or I'm actually going to try to popularize acrylic cages. So if you go to this guy's social media page called Herp Time, he has acrylic cages that are so beautiful for all of his anoles. He does a bunch of anole species and stuff. I want to do something like that for leopard geckos and popularize it so that people could keep leopard geckos in a way that really displays their colors, but also helps you collect them in a low budget, easy, space confined manner. So $12.65. Oh yeah, $12.65 is nice. We had this one out earlier. Good color on this girl. Oop, she jumped. So she's got great orange, and then her tail is just like smoking chili pepper orangey red. Pretty cool. Ain't that right, sweetie? She's like, yeah. This is $12.65. $13.56. Let's take one more look at $12.65's beautiful chunky red tomato tail right there. Cool. Then we have $13.56. Mandarin Clown, beautiful contrast and kind of striped coloration between the oranges and the greens. I'd say the orange is not super popping. Like the last one definitely has a better orange color, but this one has nice contrast between like, whoop, jumper, between like the greenish orange stuff. This girl right here, her orange is more poppin', more brighter. And that should be reflected in the price, usually. Sometimes their look changes over time, and I might change the price. Either up the price or lower the price, depending if their color, really intensifies or unintensifies. But this girl, oh, she's nice. I wouldn't say she's overly stunning, but they're all beautiful in their own way. And she's decent orange coloration. Nice coverage of what would be considered the green pigmentation. Or if you watched our video on leopard gecko layer coloring and what makes leopard geckos change color, this is layer number 2. She has really fat coverage of layer number 2. So she would be fantastic for like a clown project, a Mandarin clown project, something like that. Or just as a pet. All right, I'm sure I missed some questions here. Was that 1356? Yes, it was. Could I cohab a male and a female? You can, if you are careful and if you make sure that the male isn't bullying the female is not bullying the male. What happens with males and females is that males always want to breed. And so, sometimes if a female refuses to breed with a male, the male will get the hint and not try to breed her. But a lot of times, males will always try to breed the girl, which will cause problems if the girl does not want to breed. And there have been really serious accidents that have happened with like males ripping off girl, not in my care, but I've heard stories and talked to people where a male ripped off a girl's arm or a girl ripped off a male's arm, and it can get pretty chaotic if you're not really. I would watch. I have I have two or three cohabitation videos. So after this live stream, type into the YouTube search bar Geeky Gecko Creations Cohabitation Leopard Geckos. I have 2 or 3 videos demonstrating and showing the safest practice to cohab Leos and or the risks that are associated with cohabbing Leos on my YouTube channel. So this girl likes to she charges after the Black Knight girl. She's not really charging her, but it kind of looks like it. And then I don't want her stepping on top of her, so I like back her off. But she constantly going for her. 1173 looks like my leopard gecko. Very cool. Yeah, the male would usually abuse the female, correct. I always worry about the heat for them. I've talked to a number of people that keep leopard geckos without heat in the 70s in their house. I do think leopard geckos are extremely adaptable. But, number one, if you do that, you probably don't want to publicize it because people are going to try to crucify you. Because a lot of people in the leopard gecko hobby are very stuck in their ways. They will jump down your throat for UVB. They will jump down your throat for size of the tank. So the Lord forbid that you bring up no heat. They will absolutely jump down your throat and come back out and jump down your throat again. I am more on the side of experimentation and observation. I think that observation needs to be documented about leopard geckos and how they adjust to different climate zones. But I've spoken to a number of people that keep leopard geckos without heat, and they do just fine. Now, that being said, I do not promote that. I do not endorse that right now. I do endorse experimentation and observation, where I think that in a professional type of observatory setting, we should do that. And I will probably actually do my own experimentation on that in the future, but right now is not that time. I have too much going on right now, not enough space to test for something like that. But if we could run a test and show that leopard geckos truly do not need a heat source, that would only expand the opportunity for people to collect them, number one. But I don't think that'll ever happen, because too many people are, even if we prove that to be true, too many people are just gung-ho against that, to where I think heat will always be a thing. So I always preach heat. I always talk about heat. I definitely think heat is essential right now, and it's something that I promote for obviously when I'm selling geckos or talking to people. But the word of mouth, the testimony, and the evidence that other people have brought forward to me about leopard geckos doing fine in 70 degree temperatures with no additional heat source cannot be ignored in of itself. Will all leopard geckos do fine? I don't know. And that's another thing too, is maybe only 20% of leopard geckos do fine like that, and the other 80% really needs some kind of higher temperature than the 70s. I don't know the answer to these questions because I haven't thoroughly tested. But I know that there's a number of keepers that have tried the very things that we're talking about right now and supposedly have succeeded. But I would need it documented, videoed, observed, and done in like a professional way to like actually prove the case, right? Across, you would have to test it across 500 or more leopard geckos, because it's not good enough to just test 5 or 10 leopard geckos and see how they do. You need a large data study, you know? And you would probably have to start with healthy adults that have no problems, and then start lowering the age and see if subadults can thrive in cooler temperatures. See if juveniles can thrive in cooler temperatures, and then lastly see if all three of those survive and thrive, then see if babies can. Because the younger the gecko, the more sensitive to life and environmental changes they are. So just because an adult leopard gecko can do fine in the low to mid 70s does not mean that a baby leopard gecko will thrive or do fine in the mid to low 70s. So anyway, the science nerd and geek in me thinks about all these things, but for sure, 100% no doubt, right now, there's just no evidence to suggest that leopard geckos would do well in the low 70s to mid 70s, at least on mass scale. So I will always recommend heat source of some sort, right? A black knight in a fully acrylic tank would be so dope. Devin verse, I'm not a expert on plants, but there are a ton of leopard gecko experts on with plants on YouTube. So just search plants for leopard geckos, or even do a Google search, plants approved for reptiles or leopard geckos. And there's a lot of people out there that are way more experienced in plants and bioactive setups than I am. You know, I would like to get more experience in bioactive setups as time goes on, especially if we open up like a storefront or a public warehouse or something where people are coming in. I want really nice cages, but at least right now, I'm a breeder and I breed in rack systems, and I'm somewhat familiar with how to make bioactive cages or natural substrate cages. I'm not as familiar as like some of the experts are in that. So, fun fact about no heat. Had a recent scare where overnight the bulb wasn't on. It got down to 68 and Lieutenant Pancake in my shirt. Wait. It got down to 68 and put Lieutenant Pancake in my shirt to use my body temperature to slowly heat him back up. Luckily, he's fine. Yeah, drops like that momentarily usually don't ever affect the leopard gecko. It's just about, can the leopard gecko survive in that long term? And back when we were doing a lot of shows, like reptile shows in the wintertime, those showrooms get really, really cold at night. So when you're setting up for the show at night, I remember going to California Reptile Super Show one time, and it's like 50 degrees, 60 degrees inside. It was cold. It was really cold inside of the warehouse where we're setting up the leopard geckos. And I remember all of our leopard geckos started and this is common for different types of shows, but all of our leopard geckos, not all of them, but I mean a decent amount, regurgitated like their mealworms from the last couple days, right? That was sitting in their stomach. That is common for a show. That normally happens. We always clean up the regurgitation, so by the time showtime happens, nobody ever sees it, but that happens a lot with people's reptiles, especially leopard geckos being brought to a show. Now, if a leopard gecko regurgitates its food, it means that it did not have the proper amount of heat to digest its food. But I do think that leopard geckos can adjust and adapt to cooler temperatures, meaning that at first it's a shock to them. Their body is in shock, so they regurgitate the food. But then if the temperatures don't change, they will just get used to those temperatures and learn to process the food without the heat, and they'll be just fine. At least that's my theory. And I've seen some leopard geckos that have proven that theory. And then obviously I've spoken to a number of people who keep leopard geckos without heat, just in the low to mid 70s, and their leopard geckos do fine. But again, I'm not going to harp on the topic too long. A thorough test would need to be done across 500 or more leopard geckos, and you would have to be very careful with the first test and use only the healthiest of adults, because you don't want to unnecessarily put any animals under a load of stress that is too much for them. But adults, that should be perfectly fine for. And a matter of fact, leopard geckos in Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Turkey, Pakistan, where they're from, those temperatures get down to freezing in the winter. So that's why they brumate. They brumate in caves for 2, 3, 4 months in 40, 50 degree temperatures. So they could certainly survive those temperatures. It's just about what is the lowest temperature that they can thrive in? Anyway, I will digress and let's move on. These geckos are 3 to 6 months old. Like this one right here, birthday 9/9/2024. And then this one right here, birthday 8/20/2024. Yeah, expos are a lot of fun. How long would you hold a gecko if purchased? We can, once the gecko is paid for, I can hold the gecko for pretty much as long as you need. Once the gecko is paid for, I can hold the gecko pretty much as long as you need. I try to encourage people to get the gecko within 1 to 2 months max of when they pay for it. But to be honest, I've held on to some geckos for sometimes a year or something if somebody has gone through like traumatic life events. Now, this is rare. Like I said, I don't promote to hold on to the gecko for that long of a period of time because, so much changes in people's lives over the course of just a couple months. And then maybe they're no longer in the position to where they can have a leopard gecko or house a leopard gecko. So ideally, 1 to 2 months max. But I try to work with people as much as they need me to work with them. And I've held on to geckos for 6+ months for people in dire situations, right? Escaped for a year in the winter and they found them when they were moving. Perfect example. I've spoken to numerous people whose leopard geckos did get out of the cage and escaped and was loose in their house, even in the wintertime. And then they find the leopard gecko bigger and fatter than ever, 6 months later or a year later. It's crazy. Great. Make sure she has a good 20 years. Thanks. What is the cost of a leopard gecko? It varies depending on the color and the morph of the leopard gecko. I would say if you go to geekygeckocreations.com, the average gecko is around 100. This girl's like 200 because she has nice color, nice greens. And then this girl is actually $750 because she's a black knight. And to anybody who knows leopard geckos, you know that black knights are just the cream of the crop. But $100 is the average. How big of a hide are good for adults? You could use, let me show you. So you could use anything from like this size of a humid hide for an adult to this size of a humid hide for an adult. Honestly, it doesn't matter as long as the adult can comfortably fit his or her body in the humid hide, and they could crawl into the top and get in the humid hide and crawl out of the humid hide and get out. It doesn't matter how big or small the hide is. Now, on the smaller side, I would say shoot for something that is like a little bit bigger on the smaller. If you're going to go on the smaller side, shoot for something that in diameter across left to right and up and down is at least 0.75 times the size of the body of the gecko, because they like to curl up in their humid hides, but you want them to be able to stretch out a little bit in their humid hides as well, if that makes sense. So all of our geckos are actually already discounted. If you look at the top of our website, our slogan is quality geckos for quality price with quality customer service for life. You also get my phone number, and I am your friend for life to help with anything that you need. So number one, our leopard geckos are already below market value and a super, super excellent steal of a price for any leopard gecko that you buy. Number two, sometimes we do hand out coupon codes and stuff like that, especially if we're trying to clear out older inventory, aka geckos, because we're updating the website with new geckos. I might do like a flash sale, something like that. But just know that our shipping is one of the lowest in the industry. Almost nobody charges $45 for shipping. We only charge $45 for shipping anywhere in the United States. And then number two, all of our prices for our geckos are already below market value. But on top of that, we will do discount codes sometimes. A matter of fact, I may do a discount code right before the next update or right after the next update. I'm not sure. But all of our leopard geckos are really reasonably priced. They are well below market value for the most part. So that tends to be my ongoing coupon, if that makes sense. Imagine buying them and they died in just a month. Yeah, so we guarantee the health of the animal. Guarantee. And we guarantee live arrival. Guarantee. Live arrival and health of the animal, or your money back or replacement of the animal immediately, and no extra charge to you. If you look at our reviews, we have like 250 reviews. I am so in tune and in touch with our geckos and with our customers that it's just as important for me to get you a leopard gecko, but also build a trusting, reliable relationship with each and every gecko owner and customer. So it's so important to me that the leopard gecko does well in your care, that when you buy a leopard gecko, I make sure that you know how to care for it. I make sure to let you know multiple times that I'm there for you to answer questions if you need it, or even to analyze your setup and anything like that to make sure that the geckos thrive and survive. So that is like one of the biggest passions of mine. $13.97. This is $13.97 right here. And actually, we will end it on this, guys. We'll take one more look at $13.97 right here. Our website for more expensive geckos like this also offers something called Shop Pay. Shop Pay means that you could pay off this gecko month to month across 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Somebody just ordered her. By the way, I see the order for her just came through. And she is a fantastic steal, guys. She is such a steal. I mean, this girl is super dark. So anyway, Shop Pay is something where you could pay the gecko off monthly, but get your gecko today, because Shopify pays me all the money up front and you're paying Shopify back across time. So I don't know whoever got her. Somebody just purchased her. I saw it come through on my phone. So congratulations. I will, sometime tonight, I'm going to send you a message about shipping and just making sure that you're familiar with shipping, making sure what day you want, whether you want a hub or to your house. I'll get in contact with you some point tonight. After I end this live stream, I usually take a little break, drink some water, eat some food or something, and then I'll get in touch with you about this little lady so we could ship her out at your desire. So, yeah, my phone does updates. So, congratulations. She's awesome. Frank is the best breeder / pet supplier I ever dealt with. I can personally assure you your money and animal are safe with him. Yeah, Astronomical Pie, he's been so fantastic. He made a leopard gecko commercial for us with Lieutenant Pancake, was the gecko we sold him. And he does all kinds of like leopard gecko skits and memes. So I highly suggest, if you want to see a fun leopard gecko channel, check out Astronomical Pie Studios, especially if you're a geek or a sci-fi nerd or fantasy nerd like I am. You will like what he does with his videos. All right, we're going to check out 1332. That'll be the last one. Then I'm going to end the live stream there for tonight. Oh, yeah, this one's nice, too. Super Giant Blood Extreme. Oh, no. He's in shed. But he looks like he has really nice color, because you guys probably can't see what I'm seeing, but he looks red underneath this. Like, sometimes they look more colorful in shed, like underneath, so I don't want to say that he's red, but he looks like he's a nice, he looks like he is a nice color for sure. So 1332, sorry he's in shed. But on the next live stream, if he's, we can pull him out, and I'm sure he's going to pop this shed off tonight. It's so close to coming off. I could see it. Oh yeah, he comes from good lineage too. He comes from good blood, extreme emerine, tangerine, super giant lineage. So I only spent $800 to be friends with Frank. Dude, if it was just to be friends, you didn't have to spend that much, brother or sister. I'd be friends with you for free. By the way, my phone number, if anybody ever needs, is on geekygeckocreations.com. At the very bottom is my phone number, my email, and it's a great way to be able to just ask me questions, either texting me or setting up a phone call or sending me an email, and then I will like get back to you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, one of my biggest things, in addition to producing leopard geckos, is community. I want to be as supportive for our leopard gecko fans and followers and the leopard gecko community as a whole as I can. And so community is just as important to me as producing quality geckos and having great customer service. So I am going to start, you know, Lord willing, I am going to start being more consistent again with my live streams as well as new videos. Like I said, the last 6 months I've just been super busy with trying to stay on top of cleaning, breeding, egg pulling, baby hatching, all kinds of stuff going on. But now, you know, we have some new employee help around here, and it's really helping to take some burden off of my responsibilities of cleaning and stuff, and allows me to get back out there on social media and do more stuff. So thank you guys so much for joining this video. I would show you my face and say goodbye, but actually I might be able to do that. Hold on, let me see. I realized when I started, please don't laugh. When I started this live stream, I realized I did not have a shirt on. You can see I don't have a shirt on. So I was like, okay, well, that shouldn't be a problem because I'm not going to be showing my body during the live stream anyway. But I always like to show my face on the way out just to say goodbye to people. So we'll do eyes for now. But I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for being so supportive. Thank you for purchasing the geckos. If you need anything, my phone number is 480-299-7657. Go to geekygeckocreations.com. Feel free to email me. And I can't post anything on here, I don't think. Let me see. Chat filter, top messages. No, I can't post anything from my phone. What if you brought one and it bit you and you throw it and you're scared? I can talk to you about that. I can talk. Leopard geckos don't often bite, but we could set you up with a leopard gecko that is older and is not a biter and has a great handleability rating. On our website, we have what's called handleability ratings, and we have some 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10s. Those guys aren't going to bite you. But I do understand that it can be a little scary if a gecko was to bite you. But I have handling videos and training videos to help you avoid that scenario. But with leopard geckos, you could probably 100% avoid getting bit. I have thousands of geckos around here, and I never get bit because I know how to avoid it, number one. And number two, leopard geckos, they're just really not biters for the most part. Yeah, it's not, yeah. Jerry brings up a good point. It's not a tokay gecko. Tokay geckos, man, God bless you. Good luck with that, because tokay geckos will rip your fingers off, but leopard geckos don't. So anyway, I love you guys. Appreciate you so much. I hope you have a good week this week. Let me know if you need anything. I'll be keep an eye out on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube for more live streams as well as video content. And also, hopefully, over the next 5 days to 6 days, I can get at least another 30, 40 geckos added to our website. So, can they get derpressed? Sorry, I'm not sure. Is that spelling correct? But I got to end the live stream right here. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, have yourselves a geeky gecko great day. I can't let my neck go above because I don't have a shirt on here. So peace, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great night.